Are you ready to elevate your school spirit? Look no further than onecampusco.com. Whether you're in the classroom, on the field, or cheering from the stands, we're dedicated to bringing academics, athletics, alumni, and fans together. Founded by our alumni-owned parent company, One Chapter in 2021, we recognize the need for quality apparel at reasonable prices and created a shopping experience that connects fans with their university. Join us in showcasing your pride and giving back to your community. With onecampusco.com, you're not just a student, athlete, or fan, you're part of a vibrant family. Together, let's celebrate what makes our university special. Visit us at www.charlotte.onecampusco.com using promo code HWY49 for 10% off.
Welcome to the Highway 49 podcast. We are back with episode 95 of the show featuring none other than the man himself, Tim Albin. Appreciate your time joining the show.
I appreciate that.
And as always, we kick off the show. We're missing Jeremy this time. Right now, he's probably putting on a defensive clinic guarding Marty Smith at the Jumpman Invitational. So miss you, Jeremy. But as always, we're going to kick the show off with the best thing we've seen this week. Hannah, what you got?
Let's see. I guess last night I was at Wake Forest. I was doing a little bit of in-arena hosting for men's basketball, so that was super fun. They had a teddy bear toss at halftime that we did, and they threw down a bunch of donations that will be donated for local charities in the Winston-Salem area. So that was just a super fun moment and just a great overall environment before the holidays. Always fun to watch some good basketball, especially during this time of year. But Hunter, what you got?
Definitely. I'm going to go back to Sunday really fast. Coach, I'm an Eagles fan, and watching them go on a 10-minute and 30-second drive to end the game. That's wild football there. 21 play drive, and the Steelers never got the ball back. So Eagles are playing great football, but Coach, tell us yours, man. What's the best thing you've seen this week?
What I've enjoyed the most, I've been here for, I guess, about 4 days straight now, is just getting to know the staff that's here. I'm going through the roster right now and basically re-recruiting the current roster. I've really enjoyed the conversations. It's been very, very powerful. And then following that phone call up with a parent or guardian, and just want to make sure that they understand our vision, and I want to listen. I want to build on things that were done well here. I want to try to fix things that I think need to be fixed. But it's been, again, very eye-opening for me to listen to these student athletes. They love Charlotte, and I'm looking forward to working with them when we get going in January.
No doubt. And to kind of, I guess, piggyback on that, the last time we saw each other a little over a week ago at your introductory press conference, what does life look like for you in this first week as being the head man here?
Yeah, well, it's been. I'm taking it one day at a time. I will be, to be honest, I've been drinking through a fire hose, so to speak, with everything. But we're getting boots on the ground. We've got several staff members that are joining us this week. We got a big weekend planned with recruiting. Probably close to 20 mid-year players will be coming to campus and have an official weekend. I'll have boots on the ground with the staff that's going to be joining us. And so it's a work in progress right now, but it's been a lot of fun. A lot of things to sell with. It's a very attractive area, as you know, with the city of Charlotte. Obviously, with this wonderful university, great administration, its beauty, the academic element. So again, it's really, really exciting, and I'm looking forward to the future.
And Coach, it's great to officially meet you in person. We got to chat a little bit and see a little bit of you at the press conference, but just talk about the opportunity and how it came together, interviewing via Zoom, never seeing the campus before. Just how did you kind of end up here in Charlotte?
Yeah, well, it was again a great job by Charlotte leadership in this process. It did start by via Zoom. My family and myself, we have vacation in the area several years. It's about just about a 5-hour drive from Athens, and my family has spent time in the area. And what I know about this university is just what I've kind of seen on TV, and what I know from recruiting a little bit from Athens in this area. Great football, great recruiting footprint. You combine that with as I said, the academic piece of this. There's a lot to sell, lot of great potential. So again, I got to commend Director Hill for giving my family and I this opportunity. But really, he's the one that kind of steered this. Early on, hey, I wanted to listen, right? And then after we kind of got past the Zoom, some other conversations on the phone, and then got a chance to come to campus, and then meet with Chancellor Gaber. I mean, wow. I mean, I was really okay. I feel like this we have the backing and the fan base from media day up to this point has been, I mean, high energy, and yeah.
Awesome. I can speak for all of Niner Nation. We're certainly happy that you're here and excited for the future. But you just mentioned recruiting. You've recruited a handful of players out of the portal so far that have been announced. But what has that process been like for you as the head man? And what's the message to get holdovers to stay put?
Yeah, I think I right now we are in the portal as we've got there's I'm talking to the current roster, and there's a fair number of guys that are in the portal because they lost their coach. I understand that, and it's not their fault. The rules say they can do it, and I get it. So I'm, again, as I said earlier, really enjoying getting to know those guys and walking and helping them through this process. And then also, we're recruiting the current class. As I mentioned, this coming weekend, there are thousands of athletes in the portal. And so there's a lot of film evaluation. There's a lot of vetting that has to go on. And so you're burning the candle at both ends, the current roster, and then what you want to bring in. It's more of an art, not a science. It changes by the minute. It really does. But at the end of the day, something that won't change is who we're targeting, and the character that we want good men. We're going to have a locker room full of good men. And if you've got a locker room full of good men, the wins will take care of itself. And that's kind of our approach right now. And we are hitting the ground running. It's been a lot of fun. This week's going to be very important for us.
Absolutely. And while we're on that topic, let's talk most important position on the field, quarterback. We've seen a couple offers go out via social media. You met with Deshaun Purdy after the presser. Obviously, he's moved on. What was that interaction like, and what are you looking for in your next signal caller for the school?
Yeah, I did. I did talk with Deshaun, and I've gone through that process before with Curtis Short, and several players at Ohio, and no one should be upset with the student athlete on this process. They did not make the rules, nor did I. The adults in the room is where we are, and so Deshaun has my full support as I shared that with him, just as Curtis Short did, and they have to make decisions based on what's best for them. For us, as far as recruiting the quarterback position, again, we are in the process of doing that. We have extended some offers to several quarterbacks, and it'll be one day at a time. This weekend will be big. We'll have 2 to 3 quarterbacks visiting. I feel good about where we are and where we sit. Um, what I mean, what roster in college football could they step into and say you're going to play early? I mean, I mean, you're going to play early. That can be a recruiting pitch, but they return their quarterback. So I mean, it's a great opportunity for a quarterback to come in and he wants to compete. I mean, it's wide open. So that to me, that's an exciting thing.
Absolutely. And to keep talking ball, we talked a little bit about kind of your offensive philosophies. You talked about 200 rushing yards, 200 passing yards, what you guys did against Miami of Ohio. I'm curious about like your fourth down philosophy, and I obviously don't say too much, but do you think you lean more towards the Dan Campbell sides of things, the aggressive side, or maybe more of the conservative, like a Dan Canales or Dave Canales for the Panthers?
Yeah. Well, on the 200, those are rare. You don't get those.
Right, of
Every
course.
coach wants to have that. That's like impossible. You're going to get that one time out of 10 games. I mean, it's very difficult to do. All right. But one thing that is non-negotiable, you got to be able to establish a running game in the second half. That's the most important thing to me. What are the rush yards that you're getting as a team, and what are the rushing yards that you're giving up as a team in the second half? All right. So I want to be clear on the 200, 200. That's a doesn't happen very often. Okay, but a mindset on stopping the run and a mindset of running the ball. We're going to build this thing inside out. O-line and D-line. We need to get a solid quarterback. The more you can run the ball, the easier it is to play quarterback. If you can't run the ball with consistency, it's very, very difficult to play quarterback. So we can help the quarterback position by establishing an identity, having those guys up front do their job, having a tough running back that gets tough yards. And we're gonna build this thing the right way with, being a physical group. All right. And so that is very exciting to me. On the fourth down philosophy, there's analytics and there's guys that they're on the sideline with books about this thick, and I get all that. I'm more of to go for it on fourth down. How's your defense playing? If they're having trouble running the ball, and they're having, and you're making the opponent's offense one dimensional, that's pretty much, hey, let's go for it because the defense is playing well. If you're having trouble stopping them, all right, then hey, you're gonna have to. What is the score? Is the score dictating what you do? If it's a one score game, two score game, and it's not the last 2 minutes, I'm gonna base it on that. I can say my gut, but I'm really looking how our defense is playing. And then there's some times where you just gotta tell your team, hey, we're going for it. We're here to win the game, and that can take on its own identity. So I don't go by the book. I don't go by, Dan Campbell. He does, from what I understand, is um, likes to do some things that maybe a little bit out of my character. I would say it like this, to make the decisions he's making, he probably has a 10-year contract. Guys that do that all the time, they've got a pretty lengthy contract,
Yeah.
I'm not taking a shot at coach because I watch all he does and says because he's got a great mindset that I like to, try to implement some of the things he does with his team, and but as far as Tim Albin, I'm going to play it by ear. I'm going to try to be smart about it, and take in all the factors.
Absolutely.
Now, it's important to have a good staff as well. It was just announced that you added Jay Kirkendall, Director of Football Operations, and Clay Feeney, Director of Player Personnel to your staff. What value will they add on what you're trying to build here at Charlotte?
I mean, they're in the same line as I am as far as building relationships. That's the most important thing. Jake's a very experienced director of football operations. Our paths crossed many years ago. He's been in the SEC. He's been in the AAC. Highly organized. He's going to keep things off my desk and allow me to roam around and do the coaching duties. So I'm certainly excited about what he brings. Clay and I go way back, my entire time as the OC, and then going into the transition as the head coach. He knows the recruiting piece of this, what we're looking for. He has eyes on the film. When it hits my desk, he's seen it. He knows what we like. I like it personally with when you're recruiting. And so I think just from going through this build, trying to keep the guys that we want here on this roster, and then the recruiting piece of the developmental. What's this athlete out of high school going to look like in 18 months? Coach, he's a three-sport kid. He's long. He's weak in the weight room right now and thin because he plays multiple sports. When he locks in and plays one sport and he's lifting year round with our strength staff and the resources that we have nutrition wise, you're going to have a guy that's going to be, 25 to 30 pounds heavier, stronger, athletic, and that's where he can help us recruit this footprint in the Charlotte area and build this thing the right way.
Absolutely. And kind of staying on the staff front, obviously the hires are still to come in a lot of positions. You're talking about getting boots on the ground. For OC and DC, obviously there's a ton of support staff needed, but what are qualities, traits you look for those sides of the ball with those specific roles?
My defensive coordinator, we're going to base out of the 4-2-5, and I'll say this: the talent and the skill set on the Charlotte roster, what we did in Athens at Ohio University the last 3 years, fits the personnel very, very well. I've conveyed that to all the guys on defense on the phone here the last 5 days. I'm really excited about just the fit, and and there's some similarities that they ran on the previous staff in the secondary. All right, that whether it's coverages and how they read things and even how they call some things. So I think that's going to mesh very well. But back to the defense coordinator, the building the relationship piece, getting the best 11 on the field. I said that about offense, and I mean that it's about defense too. We're going to have a package for first and second down. And I'd like to say that I mean, everybody in America wants to stop the run and make them one-dimensional. That's hard to do. That's going to take recruiting. That's going to take really good players. But that's going to be our mindset. And then we want to get to third down. And when we get to third down, okay, let's get our pass rush guys on there. Let's have a package. Let's give the quarterback multiple looks. All right. And let's have a third down, what we call posse package. All right. And we want to get after that quarterback. And again, I know that's philosophy, but we've been able to be very successful defensively, particularly the last 3 years. And that's what we're going to get done here in Charlotte. Offensively in the OC, that will be not probably, that will be the last spot I fill. I'm going to go slow with this. I've talked to several candidates. And I'm gonna this. I'll stop talking on that right now, but it'll be my last spot, And I've got some options in talking with Director Hill in the direction that I'm going to go. But the time of possession, identity, running the ball, getting the playmakers the ball, and this is something I haven't said, but I think as an offense, the first thing they're going to hear from the offensive side is going to be, hey, we want to end every series with a kick, whether it's a field goal, an extra point, or a punt, which meaning is the turnover thing. The turnover. If you win the turnover margin, you've got like a 87% chance of winning the game. All right, so you can start there. Everybody knows that stat, but offensively, you don't want to have turnovers, and defensively you want to get them. And so that will be a major focus on the staff as we move forward to give us that's a part of the formula on winning games.
Absolutely. And when you look towards next season, obviously the first game being App State, but I'm curious, been some awesome hires around college football. You've got Bill Belichick on the schedule. You've got a trip to Georgia on the schedule. How excited are you for those matchups? And has it hit you yet that there's some really fun ones on the
Yeah.
schedule?
Yeah, I have the Happy State. It's a great matchup for two great fan bases, right? I mean, that's going to be an electric atmosphere at a great venue. That's the only one I thought about. You mentioned Coach Belichick and the Georgia game. I don't even know when that is. Hey, we're going to build strong, swing big. I always say we respect all opponents and fear none. We'll deal with that as it comes. But I think again the second game against North Carolina. Again, you're going to have in the state great energy in our stadium, a great opportunity, and we'll take it as it comes.
Obviously, at Ohio, you built something that you loved and that was successful. But are there any traditions that you had there that you want to carry over here at Charlotte as you kind of put your own stamp on this program?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I'm to be honest with you, I'm still working my way through that. We're going to instill a set of core values for our program that we had in Athens. And to be honest with you, the campuses here in Charlotte and Athens, very, very similar. All the campus is, all the buildings are out of brick. It's got a great feel. That's the same in Athens. We had a brick-worthy kind of thing. You have to earn a brick based on the criteria set by. There's an academic piece, a strength piece, a community service piece. Just being a good man. If we have a locker room full of good men, all right, the wins will come. And so to back to the question, I think there's something there about brickworthy. You got to earn your brick. Everybody sees the same theme on campus. I love the gold standard set by Director Hill. So I love brickworthy. I love pickworthy. All right. I mean, there's some things that I'm really kind of working my way through. I want to get the boots on the ground. I want to get all our smoke detectors in place here in the facility, and I want to have some late night powwows and make the decision. But one thing I know we'll have is set of core values. Our community will be involved in it. I want our guys out in the community. This place sells out, and they come and watch these guys. And so I want this football team to want to give back to the community that gives so much to them and their support. And they're going to be out in the community. That was a big thing with our chancellor. I think she really liked that, and so that excites me. And that's going to be our vision moving forward.
Awesome. I love that. And I'm sure the past week has just been a whirlwind for you in terms of
Ooh,
recruiting, getting
yeah,
adjusted, and
yeah.
meeting 1,000 different new faces. But for Niner Nation that's listening to this, as you prepare for next season, what can they expect from the Tim Albin era, or I guess just the type of culture that you hope to continue to add for years to come?
Yeah, again, the community piece is going to be big, but they're going to have a program that's going to play hard. They're going to show sportsmanship, win or lose. All right, football is the greatest team game on the planet. And it's a man's game played by men, and it's very tough. And we all know to win takes talent, and it's gonna take some patience there. All right, but I'm a firm believer in to win consistently takes character. All right, and they're gonna see the character piece from our staff, from our smoke detectors. We're gonna call the players by their first name. And we're going to treat them the right way. We're going to be demanding, but we're going to do it in a non-demeaning way. And they're going to trust us. We're going to serve all these guys' hearts, and our fan base that is so charged up. They're going to see that and how they conduct themselves on the sideline, in the community, and how hard they play on game day.
Absolutely. Coach, I gotta ask one more thing. How are you getting through this world? When you're a coffee drinker, you drinking energy drinks? What's going on here?
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one. I drink 2 cups of coffee a day. That's it.
Perfect.
I'm not a big energy drink guy. Now I will have a maybe a half a can of some low sugar one on game day, but other than that, really, my energy comes from getting my 2 feet on the ground and attacking the day and serving hearts. That's really it fires me up. I mean, this position I'm in right now, yes, I am drinking through a fire hose. It's a lot. I feel to be honest, tired. I miss my wife, my dog, my kids. But I know the good Lord has got me here to serve, and it's really fulfilling me and energizing me. So that's kind of Tim Allen. I beat to a different metric sometimes. I think you can tell with some of my answers, but I've been very blessed and just very excited moving forward.
Yes, sir. Well, we appreciate you and appreciate your time, and thanks for coming on the show.
I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.